So I did a haul for Sephora and I did the semi-sweet chocolate bar from Too Faced. And I wasn't actually going to make a video about this, like at all, other than my haul video. But I was just, I played with it the night that I got it and I used, what, 4 colors out of it. And I did feel like the look I came up with, I used one of their little guides and used the colors because I kind of liked how the picture looked. And when I got on camera, like I have eyeshadow on right now, you can't tell. I've got 3 colors on out of this palette, and you can't even tell I have anything on my eyes. And so I played with it the first night that I got it, and I just got to thinking, like, I'm in a discussion on Facebook right now in one of the groups. Someone had just posted tonight about this palette, and are they disappointed? Is anybody else disappointed about the pigmentation in it? So I pulled it out, and I just played with it again, because in store I had swatched these colors, yeah, obviously using my finger. And when you do that, they look great. They're pretty. But when I got home and I started to use pink sugar, which is right here, it's this pretty light pink color, but it's glitter. And literally when you kick it, okay, first of all, this palette, I don't want to be negative. I love the way it smells, and I love Too Faced. I really, really do. And I was so excited to get this palette, but you need to understand it's $49. For Christmas time, I had bought the big, I don't know what it's called. I don't know what this palette's called. It's a French name, and it's the Christmas one. It's the pink Christmas one from Sephora with a bunch of different shades. Now, the ones down here, this purple literally is a purple glitter. It's a pressed shadow, but when you are picking it up on your brush and putting it on your lids, it's literally like using a loose glitter. So is the blue. The pink is kind of borderlining on that. So is the silver, and then Moon on Their Wings is a pretty champagne color, but it comes out off your brush pretty glittery. There's a lot of fallout. And the other colors are pretty pigmented, and they're creamy, and they're nice on the brush. So, I knew that those are chunky glitter kind of shadows, and you can use them with glitter adhesive, and they stick pretty well. But if you want to use any of the glitter colors, you need to use adhesive. And I love Too Faced products, and usually they're pretty good pigmentation, but this palette, this semi-sweet chocolate bar, I've got this it's a light pink glitter. And it's so fine of a glitter. First of all, it has fallout like crazy. Every single shadow that I've used out of here now, which has been about half of the palette, is crazy freaking fallout. And I'm not a fan of that. I'm wiping fallout from my face left and right, and I don't like that. The next thing is I can swatch it right now on my fingertips. Like here's, I have nougat and peanut butter and a blueberry swirl. And they are swatching pretty decent. Nougat is a very light, neutral color anyways. You're not going to be able to see it once I swatch it. But those are the colors right there. This is nougat, this is peanut butter, this is blueberry swirl. But once you start picking them up on a brush, I just used a Sigma blending brush to try to get some of nougat. Well, I put nougat all over my lid, and my lids were a little bit oily. I didn't put any primer on right now. I did put primer on the other night, and I still had a hard time getting any type of pigmentation. So I did put nougat on my lid right now, and it literally just mattified it, but it was like putting transparent powder on my eyes. And this one right here is nougat. So I was a little disappointed in that. I was already disappointed in pink sugar from the other night, and I did put pink sugar on top of nougat right now, and you can't tell. And I put mousse in the crease, which you can't even really tell. And so I literally just went with my fluffy brush. And this is still kind of pretty dense. This is a Sigma brush. It's a good brush. And it is still pretty dense, but it is a little bit fluffier for like blending and whatnot. But it's still pretty dense. And I went through a bunch of colors, and I had swatched them on my hand. I don't know if you can see it over here. And like this is the blueberry swirl over here, and it's so incredibly light. This one right here was nougat, and I don't even know what this one was right here, but they're so light, and I'm not grabbing any pigmentation. And what's killing me about this is I have bought a knockoff for like 8 to 10 bucks of the first chocolate bar palette, and I got it from eBay. I think it was like 8 bucks. And I know the colors are just a slight bit off, but I feel like the pigmentation on my knockoff palette, it kicks up a lot of powder, but so does the regular one. And I feel like the pigmentation is like the same. Like with a fluffy brush, here's one of the pigments from that. I feel like it's the same pigmentation. My knockoff doesn't have the scent of the chocolate smell to it, which was a big seller for me. I originally wanted the Bonbons shadow, and they didn't have the first one, and they didn't have the Bonbon one. But I got this, and I still have the receipt in the box, and I think I'm taking it back, because for $50, I know a lot of people like light neutrals where it looks natural and you can't really see, but for $50, I want to see these colors on my lids. And if something is too pigmented, there is a way to tone it down. But to try to sit here and take something that's not very pigmented at all and trying to build it up, it takes too much time, it takes too much effort, and it's a big pain, let's be honest, pain in the ass, especially if you want something pigmented. So if you want something that's lightly pigmented and you're willing to dish out 50 bucks for it, I mean, by all means, go ahead. I'm just really disappointed that these shadows are so incredibly unpigmented. When you swatch them with your finger, yes, that's always one of the best swatches, because it grabs so much product and you're rubbing it in with your finger and you have oils on your finger, and yeah, it makes a good swatch. But when you're swatching something, and I know it's hard to do in the stores, what are you going to do, carry a brush around with you that's just for swatching? Which actually might not be a bad idea if you have a brush that you don't like, or that, sanitize it and maybe take it with you to the store and try swatching products. Just use it for swatching. Don't use it on your face. Just swatch on the back of your hand or something. Just try using it for swatching, because that's going to give you a true swatch with a brush. And after being in that conversation, now I'm like, ew, I don't want this palette anymore. And it was $50. And it smells good and it looks pretty to look at. But this is the second time I've tried to use shadows out of it, and I'm not getting much of a look. The last videos I did with this on, it looked like the shadows were so light, but the way that you couldn't see. You couldn't even see that I had these shadows on. And it did look like underneath my eyes, I had put one of the colors under my eyes and lined my lash line with it, but it looked like I had a black eye almost. And I don't know if that was because of the shadows and my lighting, because my lights are too different. Like this one's like fluorescent kind of light, and this one's just a regular light bulb over here. And you can tell the difference on the sides of my face right now. And I'm using my laptop to make these videos because I don't have a tripod for my nice camera. And even when I start using the nice camera, it doesn't have one of the screens that you can flip and look at the viewfinder. I'll have to set up a mirror behind it to even see if I'm in focus. So I'm using my laptop right now because I can see everything in front of me and how I'm filming it. And I know it's not the best quality and my lights aren't the best, but it's what I've got to work with. So I know my lights get a little goofy, but if I'm going to spend $50 on a palette, I want to love it. I want it to be like the best thing. I mean, my Mi Vida Loca palette from Kat Von D is better pigmented. And I know it's $10 more, but you're also getting like an extreme amount of crazy colors, but also a lot of neutrals inside. But I've never had a problem with pigmentation. And these do kick up some dust too, kick up some powder, but at least you can see them on my eyes. This semi-sweet chocolate bar you can't see, so I'm really thinking about taking it back, because now I'm disappointed in it, and now I probably won't try to use it again because I don't want to struggle that much to get color out. And typically, when I do my makeup, I want it to be seen. If I want a natural look, I just won't wear makeup at all. So if I'm going to do my makeup, I want you to be able to see my eyes. Plus, I wear glasses. I don't wear them for my videos because my lights flash on them and all you see is just glare on my eyes. So I don't wear them for my videos. But in order to see, I am very blind. I need them. And in order to see, I have to wear them. And so my eyes need to be bolder a little bit when I do a shadow. That way you can actually see my shadow behind my glasses. So this definitely doesn't cut it. So what is the point of putting on makeup if you can't even tell that I'm wearing it? That's a big waste of my time and my money, especially to be such a high-end palette. And I don't want to be a negative Nancy, but I pulled it out. I was reading these reviews on Facebook, and these girls were just like, you know what? Yeah, I'm having a hard time. One of them said, get a dense brush. Okay, yes, maybe that's working, and maybe you're suffering through using a dense brush, but a dense brush doesn't work for everything. For blending, for, contouring the eye and stuff. You can't use a dense brush for, I mean, I guess you could, but I don't want to. And I shouldn't pay $50 for a palette and then have to use a specific dense brush just to get any type of color payoff. That's not how this works. This is a high-end product. It should have good pigmentation. And I'm not saying that the second it goes on your eyes, it should look exactly like dark as shit. I'm just saying, even the light browns, I want to be able to see them on my eyes. I can with my Vita Loco palette. I can with the BH Cosmetic palette that I have. I can with my Coastal Scents palettes. And those are all a lot cheaper other than the Vita Loca, but the other ones are cheaper and I can still see it. And my knockoff has the same color payoff and it's $8 versus $50. So I know that they don't have the knockoff for the semi-sweet chocolate bar yet, but I mean, if I wanted it enough, I could buy it for $8 on eBay versus $50 in Sephora. And I didn't realize that the color payoff was going to be so little. And I am very disappointed in this now. And I am going to take it back. And I'm going to change it out for a different palette. I know I can find another palette for $50 in there. But I'm kind of disappointed because this is something I was very interested in. And now I'm going to have to take it back and try to find something else. And right now, Sephora is like sold out of everything in my store. So I probably have to sit on a gift card for a while. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty disappointed. It kind of sucks because I love the way it smells. And now with that, I'm like, do I even want to get the Bonbon one when my Sephora gets it? Because this was such a crappy color payoff. And I don't know about the first one. So I'm thinking about taking an old brush of mine with me when I go in to take this back, sanitize it, right, spray it down with some alcohol, let it dry, take it with me, and start swatching them on the back of my hand using a brush so I can see what the color payoff is like. That way I'm getting a more accurate in-store swatch, and then I'm not getting home and being disappointed. Because let's be honest, I got this palette for my birthday for my boyfriend. It's the limited edition, and it's Sephora palette. It's $36, and the color payoff on the neutral, the color payoff on all of these, and the blendability and the powder is better than Too Faced. And this is Sephora's actual brand. This is the Ombre Obsession palette. It doesn't kick up a shit ton of powder like this. I'm blowing off more powder than off the palette than I'm putting on my eyes. It's kicking up way too much powder, which is wasting product, and I'm not getting a good color payoff, and I don't want to build it up like that. And this, I don't have to build it up. It's great color payoff, doesn't kick up a crap ton of powder, and it was only $36 for this ombre palette, which it has 3 to 4 colors in each ombre pan plus 4 regular pans of just straight color. So, I don't know. Just for the price, I'm pretty disappointed, and now I have to put it back in the box and take it back and let them know, and then it just goes to waste because they can't reuse a palette that's already been used. They have to send it back to the company, so I kind of feel bad for that, but I don't know, it's my money, and I spent $50 on something that I am not happy with now at this point. So I will be taking this back, and I just wanted to go ahead and get this review up for you. Now, if you're willing to spend the money because you like the product and you like the brand and you're not looking for a huge color payoff, by all means get it. It'd be a nice palette for that. But me, I need color payoff. I like bright colors. I like bold colors. If I'm doing a neutral eye, I want you to still be able to see the color that I'm using. I don't want to work on my eyeshadow for a little bit and then you don't even know I have it on, when I'm done. So, definitely something to think about before you go. And again, I wasn't trying to be completely negative. I think the packaging is great. I think the mirror is great. I think it smells amazing. And I wish all of my eyeshadow palettes smelled like chocolate because it's freaking awesome. And I don't know. Too Faced is a great brand. I have a kabuki brush by them and I love it. I have the Christmas palette that I got and I do like that. I'm having problems with the glitter. I feel like I feel like they try to be like Urban Decay with their sparkly eyeshadows, but they haven't quite mastered it yet because once it picks up on the brush, it literally comes off as glitter. And the amount of fallout I'm getting, even with the neutral matte colors, is extreme. I don't want to deal with that much fallout. I might as well use a loose pigment at that point. So I'm sad to say it, but I will be taking this back, and I will never purchase this again. I might, if they come out with a off-brand one, I might purchase it for $8 online, but I don't even know if I would do that. I mean, there's no point. If I'm gonna buy a $50 neutral palette, then I want it to pay off on the color. So there's that video, and I will see you guys later.